One other common situation you find yourself in is when somebody grabs you under the arms from behind. You're getting pulled off somebody, you'll see them grab you like that. There's a number of ways this happens. When somebody grabs you from behind under the arms, you still have plenty of room. Now, I don't want to get into the hitting, head-butting stuff because I don't want his lawyer to have lots of pictures to show in a grand jury hearing. I just want to stay at soft hand control, so I went out of this using nothing but joint locks. I shouldn't have to go over that area. Now, if he's holding on, one thing I really have to worry about is getting suplexed or supplayed, or a nage would be the throw in judo, where he throws me over his back and winds up landing my head on the concrete. I do not want to go there. So when somebody grabs you from behind, under your arms, your first reflex has to be to drop your weight so you are a little top heavy this side. Now Brian's going to have a heck of a time getting me off the ground, much less getting me over his head. So as he grabs around my back, I want to secure his hands so I have a little control over his hands, but I'm going to drop my weight. Now depending on the grip Brian has, I will determine how to get out of this. With this kind of a grappler's grip, you often see this with wrestlers. They'll also use a 3-in-1 where the fingers come together like that. Regardless, I've got fingers here that are just begging somebody to bend them. If I reach down here, pull the fingers up this way, if I keep pressing down on the ends of the fingers as I pull up, I get plenty of pain reactivity from my opponent. So go back to that grip. As he's holding this, if I get a handful of fingers under here and start pulling straight back on the fingers, he's going to let go, and just as an incidental, I also have a nice joint lock right here to apply to the fingers as well as the elbow. So that's a little bonus on this one that can get you to the next step if you need it. So as he's holding on here, I can also take the thumb, pull back and away from the grip. I'm just going to pull that thumb straight up his forearm, and of course he's going to let go. And again, you can get this joint lock, combination elbow and hand from this position. I don't particularly want to stay here because even though I'm applying some pain, he still has my back. So I want to get out of here as fast as possible. Let's explore a few more grips. If he does it with the fingers intertwined like that, and you see this a lot. Fingers intertwined, looky, I've still got a thumb. Pull it straight back along his forearm, he'll let go. Another common grip is where they overlap their hand onto the other hand. In other words, both palms are facing in here. There's a couple of fun options to this. One of them is to push in on the inner hand and take the joint lock from there. So if he's holding the top hand tightly, I can put my hand over the hand that's under, and then I push against his elbow, push down on his wrist, and now I've got a nice wrist lock here, which I can take advantage of if I want to. Again, he's holding like that. The other approach to this one, of course, is get a hold of that thumb, pull it straight up his forearm, and that breaks his grip. If he does it properly, and just for your training as well, if he does it properly, he has what we call a Gorgon knot, where he actually covers his thumbs with his own hand and tucks this thumb under here. I have nothing to get a hold of here in time to save me from being taken down. So I have to resort to other measures when he's done something like this, like breaking it in a figure 4 fashion. So note this one here. As he holds this Gorgon knot, I don't have any fingers. I don't have time. So I'm going to reach over the top. I'm going to reach under and get my nice udegarami, and then I'm going to break that wrist lock down here. There's plenty of ways to lever out of these things. If you want to build a first reflex, go ahead and try any of those grips. This one here, grab the upper hand, put the other hand under, slap and wrap, break the grip. Try another grip. Here, same deal. You got tremendous control using this particular technique. Very, very few people strong enough to hold on against that kind of pressure on their wrist. So this subsection has been about possible grips that somebody can get on you from behind. Now, we're going to explain where we go with the rest of this kata. I'll use the example in this case of bringing the thumb back. As that arm breaks loose, I'm going to secure the wrist, pivot into him as I bring my arm over the top of his elbow. So again, from the grip, pry the thumb back, grab with the opposite hand. I'm keeping pressure on his arm all the way through this, and I'm going to turn the wrist up. Little help from this wrist lock will bring that elbow up. So as I'm bringing this arm over, I'm sliding this hand down to get a little more of a flexed wrist lock as this comes around. Then a little pressure up, there's that elbow. Once that elbow comes up, I'm going to reach through and lock, again, udegarame, and this lock is called a kimura lock. It's a shoulder lock with the arm directed toward the caudal end, directed toward his feet. Remember, this one is an Americana, this one is a kimura. So again, from the grip, I'm going to pull the hand or the finger back, grab with the opposite hand as I pressure onto his arm, push up on the wrist, lock on my own wrist. Now I have udegarame and I'm very much in control of this limb. What I'm going to do now is step around him, push up on his hand, and J-step back. Be careful because that shoulder will come right out of the socket. So as you lower your opponent / suspect to the ground, be sure to take pressure off of his shoulder unless you want to go to court. Well, now that he's here, why not just assume our cuffing position, give me your hand, give me your hand, give me your hand, and take this little fella to J. Okay, a few more times so you see all the pieces come together. Let's try it from another angle. Gets a hold of me around the waist. This time, I'll use that figure 4 break. Pop, slide up, lock, come around, pressure down, pressure down, pressure down. Once he's down, lock the wrist up, step into my cuffing position, give me the hand, give me the hand. Very simple. Good response to that grab. Try it from another angle. Here, he's got this one. I'll bring the fingers up this time. Grab the wrist, pressure here. Come over the top, lock, step around, push up on the hand, down on the shoulder, J-step back, give him opportunity to save his arm. Step in, lock him up, give me the hand, give me the hand. He's cuffed. A nice variation on this is when somebody reaches for your gun. If he reaches over to grab my gun, I'm simply going to pin his hand to the gun. I'm going to push up with my hip as I turn his wrist to bring that elbow up. As I come in, I'm simply going to lock over, grab my own wrist. Now I've got this kimura lock. I'll twist around this way, J-step back, down he comes, flatten out, knee, knee, wrist lock, give me the hand, click, click, we're done. Response to a rear bear hug under the arms.